The story goes that there was a young man named Guo Sheng in the capital, aged around 20, who was handsome and talented. One day, as the evening approached, an old woman gave him a cup of wine. Guo Sheng found it strange and asked why she was giving him wine out of the blue. The old woman smiled and said, "You don't need to inquire about the reason. Drink it, and you will naturally go to a good place." After saying this, she left. Guo Sheng picked up the wine cup, took a sniff, found it fragrant, and drank it. Immediately, he became extremely drunk and lost all awareness. When he woke up, he felt that he was lying in bed with someone. And as he touched, he found the person's skin smooth and delicate. A fragrance wafted over, indicating that it was a woman. Guo Sheng asked who she was, but she didn't answer. They then engaged in an intimate relationship. Later, Guo Sheng felt the walls with his hands and realized they were made of stone, with a cool and slightly earthy smell, much like a tomb. Astonished, he suspected he was deceived by a female ghost. So, he asked the woman, "What kind of deity are you?" The lady replied, "I'm not a deity, but a celestial being. This is a blessed paradise. Don't be surprised. We have a connection. And as long as you stay peacefully, there's another door ahead with a convenient place for your needs." After that, the lady got up, closed the door, and left. After a long time, Guo Sheng felt hungry. A little maid came with noodles and duck meat. Guo Sheng ate the food, feeling the darkness inside the cave. He couldn't distinguish between day and night. Soon after eating, the lady came to sleep again, and that's when he realized it was nighttime. Guo Sheng said, "No daylight seen during the day, no lamps lit at night. Eating without knowing where my mouth is, such experiences are common. What's the difference between Chang and evil spirits? What's the difference between heaven and hell?" The lady replied, "Because you are mortal of the mundane world, talkative and fearful of divulging secrets. I don't want you to see my appearance and form. Even in the dark, you should be able to tell beauty from ugliness. There's no need to light a lamp." They continued like this for a few days. Guo Sheng started feeling uncomfortable due to the darkness and asked to leave temporarily. The lady said, "Tomorrow night, I will accompany you to visit the heavenly palace. After the visit, I will let you go." The next day, a little maid arrived with a lantern, saying, "Madam has been waiting for you." Guo Sheng followed her out. Under the starry night sky, he saw numerous pavilions and buildings. After passing through several galleries, they arrived at a place where there were beaded curtains, hanging in large candles illuminating the room like daylight. Inside, there was a beautiful lady, around 20 years old, dressed in splendid attire, seated in the main position. Her silk gown shimmered, and pearls on her head trembled, casting clear light even onto the hem of her dress. She was truly a celestial being. Guo Sheng was overwhelmed and didn't know what to do. He unconsciously knelt down on the ground. The lady had the maids help him up and lead him to the seat. After a while, a variety of delicacies were brought in. The lady toasted him, saying, "After drinking this cup, I will send you back home." Guo Sheng stood up, bowed, and said, "Before, I met you without recognizing the true form of the celestial being. I was truly anxious and uneasy. If the celestial lady can pardon my past sins, I am willing to accompany you for the rest of my life." The lady smiled at the maids and then had the feast moved to the bedroom. The bedroom had embroidered curtains and fragrant soft bedding. She asked Guo Sheng to sit on the bed, and as they drank, she kept saying, "You've been away from home for a long time. It's not a problem to go back temporarily." After drinking for a while, Guo Sheng didn't bid farewell. The lady asked the maids to light the way for him to leave, but Guo Sheng still didn't say goodbye. He pretended to be drunk and fell asleep on the bed, with the lady by his side. The maids undressed him. One maid moved away his private area, saying, "This man has a gentle and elegant appearance, but this thing is quite uncouth. How can something like this be elegant?" She then left, and the lady also went to bed, while Guo Sheng turned away. The lady asked, "Are you drunk?" Guo Sheng replied, "How can I be drunk? I just saw a celestial lady, and my senses are in disarray." The lady said, "This is a heavenly palace. Before dawn, you should leave. If you find the darkness stifling, you can go back quickly." Guo Sheng said, "There's a man who gained a prized flower at night, smelling its fragrance, touching and playing, but there's no lamp to see it. How can one endure such a situation?" The lady heard this and promised to provide a lamp. Around 4 in the morning, the lady had a lantern lit, held his clothes, and escorted him out of the cave. Upon entering the cave, Guo Sheng saw red walls intricately carved and a bedding area with a mattress over a foot thick. Guo Sheng took off his shoes, entered the bed, and the maids wouldn't leave. Guo Sheng took a closer look at the maid, and she was elegant and beautiful. He joked, "Are you the one who called me uncouth earlier?" The maid laughed and kicked the pillow, saying, "Sir, you should sleep now and stop talking." Seeing the pearls on her shoes were as small as beans, he caught her and pulled her into his embrace, and they became intimate. The maid was breathless. Guo Sheng asked, "How old are you?" The maid replied, 17. Guo Sheng asked, "A virgin knows about romance between men and women." The maid said, "I'm not a virgin, but it's been 3 years since I last experienced romance." Guo Sheng repeatedly asked for the name and origin of the celestial lady, but the maid said, "You shouldn't ask. Even if it's not from the heavens, it's still different from the mortal world. If you really want to know the truth, you might find yourself in an unsolvable situation." After hearing this, Guo Sheng dared not ask further. The next day, as promised, the lady came with a lantern to meet Guo Sheng. They continued to meet like this. One day, the lady said, "Originally, I intended to have a long-lasting relationship with you, but things change. We need to clean up the heavenly palace lately, so I can't keep you here anymore. Please drink this cup, and let's part ways." Guo Sheng.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.